It's the day of the show.
Captain, all the latest home videos in beta and VHS.
Aye, some so current, they're still in theatrical release.
Help yourself, mates. A chest full of video discs.
No!
What good are they?
Can't record on them.
They're not compatible with my system.
Captain, this was locked.
Stand back.
Open that up.
Gather on, me buckos, and feast your eyes on this. Make all the illegal copies you want. Put it on.
Aye, aye, Captain.
Oh, I'm so scared.
T-C.
This guy's been stoned since the 3rd grade.
Yes?
Yeah, I'm registered in this class.
What class?
This is U.S. history. See the globe right there.
Really?
Hey, may I come in?
Oh, please. I get so lonely when I hear that 3rd attendance bell ring and all my kids are not here.
Sorry I'm late. It's just like this new schedule's totally confusing. Yeah, I know that, dude.
Mr. Spicoli.
That's the name they gave me. Hey, you're ripping my car.
Yeah.
Hey, bud, what's your problem?
No problem at all. I think you know where the front office is.
You dick!
Well, haven't you anything to say? Anything? Out of sheer honesty? Well,
Yes, I would just love a duck dinner.
Are your parties dull and boring? Well, why not liven them up with the snack food that's sweeping America?
Say, Mike, this is some great pate. It has such a unique flavor.
It's more than just an ordinary pate, Bill. Watch.
What the? You know, I never saw an appetizer do that before.
You never tried silly pate before. Not only is it fun at parties, it's low in saturated fats. And look, it picks up your favorite comic strip. I'm eating Doonesbury.
And I'm eating Beetle Bailey.
Yes, you'll never have a dull, lifeless party again with Silly Pate. Silly Pate. Available in all fine gourmet shops and toy stores everywhere.
No, that's the whole point. It's the same exact thing, but it's with women, right? So it's a new idea.
Okay, I just feel that if it's all with women, then it should be better.
Why can't we just do the same thing?
Because if we do the same thing, then why are we doing it at all?
Yeah, I gotta say, I agree with that. I mean, why can't we just come up with our own record to break? Like some badass woman who could really throw them back, you know? Judy Garland, Liz Taylor.
Joan Crawford.
Betty Ford. No, those are all sad examples of alcohol abuse. The box thing just feels more fun, you know? When women do it, it just feels sad.
John, the kind of control you're attempting is, it's not possible. Listen, if there's one thing the history of evolution has taught us, it's that life will not be contained. Life breaks free, it expands to new territories, and it crashes through barriers painfully, maybe even dangerously, but, well, there it is.
There it is. You're implying that a group composed entirely of female animals will breed?
No, I'm simply saying that life, finds a way.
This job would be great if it wasn't for the fucking customers.
Jesus, I'm gonna hear from the boss tomorrow.
Oh, would you loosen up? You'd feel a hell of a lot better if you just rip into the occasional customer.
Why? I don't bother them and they don't bother me.
A liar. Tell me there aren't customers that annoy the piss out of you on a daily basis.
Dude, you don't have to be ashamed or anything.
But I'm not a fudge packer.
Then why are you packing fudge?
I'm not. I'm a very busy actor. I'm just here trying to get away for a weekend and do some fly fishing.
Dude, you are in a fudge factory packing fudge.
Oh, that does it. I will sue you.
For what?
You can't just call somebody a fudge packer and get away with it. Hey, is that fudge packer Tom Cruise?
Say, would you like a chocolate-covered pretzel? They're a little melty, but damn are they exquisite. And if I remember correctly, you're a big pretzel fan.
Dark chocolate.
Yeah?
No.
Oh, come on.
No,
They're
please.
awesome.
No.
Here you go.
Thank you. Oh.
What?
Registered commies, not guns.
Oh, he was probably a member of the National Rifle Association. There was a group that helped criminals get guns so they could shoot citizens. It was a public service.
Let's get back to
Right, so these punks,
Yes.
I don't know if they wanted money or they wanted something more sexual. Wow. But it's a lucky thing I had my pieces.
Your pieces?
My guns.
Oh.
Anyway, I started blasting. Bang!
Wow.
Bang! Well, I don't see so good, so I missed. Then they ran away. I ran after them.
Okay.
Bang! Try to shoot them in the back. But I don't run so good either. Anyway, you guys all think I'm a hero, and I'll accept that responsibility.
All right, come out or I'll blast you out.
For shame, Doc. Hunting rabbits with an elephant gun.
Elephant gun?
That's right, Doc. So why don't you go shoot yourself an elephant? You do, and I'll give you such a pinch!
We're going to start our volleys. We hope you like the show. Everything is ready. We're raring to go. We'll give you all the latest songs and dances full of pep. We're gonna start with hot shots. Just watch this chorus steps.
Originally settled as Ocean View during the 1850s, the city's population boomed with displaced
But in my own way, I am king. Hail to the king, baby.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Fantastic Comics Presents 239. Where did the day go? My goodness. We come to you here every Tuesday at 8 o'clock live. And we're going to talk about comic books. Comic books? What? Some guy talking about comic books? It's not just some guy. It's me.
My name is Yule Carter, comic book retailer in Berkeley, California.
That's right. That's me, Yule Carter, comic book retailer in Berkeley, California. Open Wednesday through Sunday, 12 to 5 p.m. You come on in. We talk comics and other things. And I blab it to all y'all here on this show. We talk about things that happen in the comic store, happen in my comic store and my area, and things about being an owner, a fan, someone that still reads the product and is invested. Boy, is he. And we get together. We're going to talk about some comics that are coming out tomorrow. Oh, darn. And of course, I forgot to change that. Let me just do that. We are almost at the end of September. Man. I hope it's been an okay year for most of you. It's been kind of trying towards the end, but as the days get darker, you know, that's when you want to sleep a little bit more. And I understand that, but make sure you come in and get your comics. I can send them to you also. This is a reminder. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. We're going to talk about our very, very first thing that we talk about in the comic store, and that is... There are people that come in the store and ask me if I'm going to be watching an event or what I think about this thing that's going on. But I got to say right now, it is pretty dead. Like after All Out for AEW, there really hasn't been that much conversation. WWE, not this Saturday Saturday, but next Saturday is going to have a Bad Blood PLE if you got the Paramount Network. Paramount? Is that right? Peacock Network. Peacock. Then you can watch that thing. I think you have to pay like $5. I recently got rid of my Hulu account, and we thought it was linked to our Disney, or our Disney was an extra app. It doesn't matter. We don't have Hulu right now, so I'm not watching raw rerun or replays like I was. And those were only 2 hours instead of the 3, but it's going to be on Netflix soon, and I've got that at least for the time being. I don't know. 2-hour shows, though. No commercials. Could be cool. Should be interesting. What was interesting was the Raw that happened yesterday had a main event Jey Uso versus Intercontinental Champion Braun Breaker. And I went to the YouTube channel and I already knew because it got spoiled for me. But you know, there was a lot of people talking about that. And I think this is something that's going to resonate, but we'll see how the story goes. Jey Uso was able to hit his Samoan splash, get the pinfall on Braun Breaker, and he is your new Intercontinental Champion. I like this picture better. That one. Yeah. A little blurry though. That's awesome. Maybe his maturation from tag and Toady for Roman Reigns, and maybe he's finally separated from that, and they can really do something for him. I think he's done. I mean, WWE has been doing a lot of great work on that character, getting him ready for this thing. And Braun Breaker is like he's unstoppable. And there's Jay getting that Duke. I used to not remember which Uso was which. And they've changed their look to not have to necessarily. But we know who Jay Uso is now. As far as AEW, I don't think that contract's been signed with WBD, but they're talking about pay-per-views being on Max and special events being on that. And they're talking about Tubi? I don't know, whichever one they own. You can look it up. This is just the Wrestling Minute. Yeah, you got to bring it to me if you want me to talk about something. But wait, that was good. You can watch Raw in 16 minutes on YouTube, and they have longer clips of the things you might want to actually know about also. Same thing with SmackDown. They understand the social media and what it means to, ratings and stuff maybe isn't as important all the time. Even still, an upstart coming in and, trying to beat you down. You gotta, you know what I mean? Thank you. Last time. Second to last time. Thank you, everybody, for joining us live. For those of you that are here afterwards, thank you also. But to everybody, I want to say.
Hello. 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 Oh. Look out. Hello.
Hello. Let me it's a tall can. What is this? Why it's a
Who is the leper?
No, it's no big deal. It's just some guy who's been running around Riverside Park, cutting people's heads off.
Oh, I haven't read about this.
Yeah, well, the police, they've been having some internal dissension about the name.
Really? What are the other titles?
Headzo, the Denogonizer.
Denogonizer. I was thinking for anybody that sees a video before this episode, I apologize. But, you got to do what you got to do to get known. Someday, who knows, maybe 132 people will be watching entirely weekly. Yes. Oh, I should drink that now. That's a tall can. I don't know if I can finish that for the show. I don't even know how much. I mean, other than talking about comics that are coming out, I really just don't have a topic. Finally, oh, son of a bitch. I know. All right, I see I'm back on. Jeez Louise, that's never happened on that one before, but you're playing with fire. Talking about commercials and stuff like that, and then there you go. Hello, everybody. It was very interesting reading you guys talking about apostrophes, and I do want to say, let's see, what are we going to say? Hell, oh, that's caps. We don't want to do that. So what's this look like? All right, so first up, earlier in the day, we had Spider Guy. Dupes for boops, booyah. Erica Sullivan's here, and he'll be here in the morning. So again, hello, Eric. I got fresh Ethiopian. Oh my God, you're a chef. You're a chef, eh? Medium roast coffee and some cinnamon raisin toast slathered in Irish butter starts my day. Huzzah! Fantinuum, you are not the only one running late, Yule. But hey, the important thing is I made it. That's right, I made it. Jilby Pills in the other room. She was like, "By the way, you're off." And I'm like, I know. Illithidor, hooray comics. That's right. There is a ton of comics that are coming out tomorrow. It was hard to really pick what the best of the 5 this week were. There were so many sellouts and surprises. And then, of course, there were some really good reads. The Booty. That's right. Dwayne Muth. Good evening, Yule. Thank you. Elaine Kramer. Hey there, Elaine. Ali, Breaker is from Atlanta, and the next PLE is in Atlanta. You think he'll win that then? Ali, where were you this week? You were missed. People were, well, I mean, everybody was like, looking around the corner, making sure you weren't around. That's really what it was. Just don't you need you sneaking up. But no, for people that don't know, we had a lot of construction outside our store, and it is now finally cleaned up. Last week was the first one, and that's a good thing because, like I said, there was a ton of stuff. Emil, bah, I know I off. But for drinking beer, wouldn't that be a thing? Let's just make sure. I know, Ali. Frasier is better anyway. Lithidor, please. I can't get through this. Working fine for me. And yes, I did get smacked, but we're back. Yes. Great. Yeah, Breaker. Yeah, I guess you could win it back in home. I mean, they've been doing that a lot lately. This is where it's dangerous. You just kind of refill it back to above the X-Men line. And even though you have beer, you now have pretty much a full glass. You still got stuff to go. All right, let's talk about comics from last week that were worth a damn. Hopefully you came in because, like I said, I sold out of some of them. There is a honorable mentions. Honorable mentions are Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Nation #1. Did you all read it? No. Did I flip through it? No. Did I pull it for the person that needs to have it? Yes. Other than that, anybody else that wanted it needed to pick it up off the shelf. And they did, and it's a sellout. Congratulations to IDW. Not only are they finally making money after they axed a bunch of people, but some of their comics are actually selling too, especially the turtle ones. This is another runner-up. Deathlock, not quite the sellout, but this was a really good-looking book, and it has a lot of talent in it that you probably want to pay attention to if you're, a fan of classic Deathlock. You've got Christopher Priest from the 90s, Dennis Cohen, Dale Eaglesham, Carlos Pagilion, other people. All right, let's get into top 5. Marvel dominates. Marvel dominates when it comes to sales more often than not. We've got Incredible Hulk #17. That was a sellout. I've been kind of tightening my numbers, but as students are coming back and more people are finding out about the store, I'm selling out of stuff. Of course, I'm always happy to reorder, but that's not always a possibility. But I will be getting some more Hulks. #4, X-Men #4. Actually, I'd probably move this up because I really enjoyed the writing, or I should say the story. The art was good. It wasn't Ryan Stegman, but it was a little bit more Juggernaut focused, and I enjoyed it. If you like Fitzroy from back in the Jim Lee, Will Spatasio, Scott Lobdell days, then you're going to probably want to check this one out. It's a good one-issue story that's leading into a whole bunch of stuff. There's 2 characters in the background that we find out about. It's all within the same story, but it's a good issue. I liked it. Jed McKay is the writer of this. He's also the writer of Avengers number 18. I only just recently read issue number 17. Number 18 is a sellout in my store. I think people are enjoying Storm on the Avengers, and Valerio Schiti is a good artist, and Jed McKay does some good writing. It follows the whole blood hunt thing that went on, and it's trying to give a little bit more, let's say, they need to resolve what happened before they can go on into this next thing. And Storm's on this one. Pretty cool. Coming in at number 2, a complete sellout, Dazzler number 1. It's a 5-issue miniseries. I didn't read it. I didn't look at it, but I sold it, and I had to order more. So if you want to get on the Dazzler train, you better make sure you let me know. And at number 1, a book I've been crowing about for 2 straight months, and maybe probably more on other episodes. Paranoid Gardens by Gerard Way. And what's his name? It's oh wait, we want that. That would be stupid. We don't want that. Yeah. Sean Simon is the other co-writer of this. Chris Weston, he's been working in comics a long time, especially if you've read Vertigo books. And Dave Stewart on the coloring, not the Eurythmics. Yeah, I know, it's the same joke as always, but what are you going to do? I really like this series, and I've been telling everybody about it, and when they read it, they want it on their holds, and I have to keep reordering. The first cover of number 1 isn't even available anymore, so I've had to reorder the cover B, and this is doing really well. So much so that this was not only a sellout, but I didn't even get to read it. Pity me. I can't read something I wanted to read because I sold it so well. What's a guy to do? And that's the best of last week. Let me do this. Let me go back to comments. Let's see this. I don't know. That looks like an apostrophe. Is that okay? That's good. I like that. There you go. All right. Moving along. I got to bring up some pictures as far as this new comic book day is concerned. There's, like I said, going to be a lot of stuff. So hold on just a second. I don't want to play a video or anything going into next week's comics because, we don't need to do that again. I'm sure Michael Nesmith won't be a problem later, but now that I've said it, there's a first time for everything, right? All right, let me do these 5 at a time because StreamYard and uploading pictures recently has been really stupid. And it's just like, all right, see, that one didn't work. It's always, if I do groupings of 5, it just doesn't always work. Let's see, here's a grouping of 4. This is so exciting. We've come to this point where we can have this relationship with each other. Maybe it's always just the last one. Yeah, see, look at that. Even that. All right, anyway. Pretend you saw Jimmy Stewart and Princess Grace. And we're going to talk about some new comic books that are coming out tomorrow. All right. First up. All right, Ultimate Spider-Man number 9. The new, or a Sinister Six, if you will, has been created at the end of last issue. And pretty much that was like the getting the group together kind of story. And I really enjoyed it. I thought it was intriguing. I like the way Hickman writes characters. I like the things he has them say. And the artwork's excellent also. And we've already seen Harry and Peter have a pretty bad time of it when dealing with Fisk. And now Fisk is going to have a whole bunch of people in addition to himself. How are they going to be able to deal with this? So, yeah, Ultimate Spider-Man number 9. Jonathan Hickman. Need I say more? All right, next up we have Action Comics 1069. This is the third part of a Gail Simone, Eddie Barrows story. Really, really good art. And I got to say right now, Gail Simone's doing it for me. I can't believe I'm saying this. Anybody that's ever had any conversation with me for, and we're talking about writers, I've never really been into Gail Simone. And I don't know, it's just probably her sense of humor. I mean, it's not even really her sense of humor. It's just there's always that jokey kind of thing that goes on in her characters. But with this Superman, I feel like something in me, something in her has changed in the comics that she's writing. And funny enough, and I didn't necessarily put these right next to each other, but Uncanny X-Men comes out tomorrow also, and that's the Gail Simone written one with David Marquez. Amazing David Marquez art. Now, I haven't read this issue yet, but I've really been enjoying the Jed McKay one and the first 2 issues of the Gail Simone Uncanny X-Men. Really, really good stuff, and I recommend it. Don't believe the hype, the negative hype, that is. I think it's a good series, and if you're a fan of X-Men, you're going to probably want to check it out. And like I said, the Jed McKay one also. Next up, X-Force number 3. Jeffrey Thorne and Marcus Toe. Marcus Toe is a pretty cool artist. I don't really have much to say about this. I was saying good things about the X-Men books, and although this has an X on it, it's not one I always read, and it's definitely not one I'm reading right now. Amazing Spider-Man number 58. I tell you, Zeb Wells is going out with a bang, and I don't know. It seems like, by all accounts, John Romita Jr. is going out with a bang on this one also. Really, really fun story involving Tombstone. Peter can be really stupid when he gets angry, and he's just never really gotten over that. And I think that's a trait that, I don't know. Maybe I was wrong about Straczynski making him a guy who actually bullied a kid. Peter the bullied is now being the bully on somebody who's even weaker than him. But I think the story of Spider-Man really should be he was the weakest and became Spider-Man. And it's like dealing with the fact that he could just knock Flash Thompson into next year, and he doesn't. That's a pretty cool thing, even though he really wants to. Anyway, this is a good issue. This storyline is good. 57 was excellent. I'm really looking forward to this. Batman: The Long Halloween, the last Halloween, 1 of 10. From what I understand, there's going to be a different illustrator in each issue, but the writer, Jeff Loeb, remains the same, like he did on The Long Halloween, Dark Victory, the Catwoman book that he worked with on artist Tim Sale with. And Tim Sale recently died. Was it this year? I think it might have been this year. If it wasn't this year, it was last year. And he was an awesome illustrator. He did a lot of indie stuff, or not Marvel DC stuff. And then he kind of, I don't know, he kind of came over, and it was just the right time because, that Image thing was becoming pretty stale. Valiant, I think, had already become Acclaim. There was still Top Cow and Wildstorm and things like that, but when you have a Travis Charest or an Alan Moore working on your books, it's changed than what it was. And Tim Sale, coming over and just doing like the most kick-ass Batman stuff. And then later on, he plies his trade over at Marvel, along with Jeff Loeb. Anyway, I guess this is kind of like an unfinished Long Halloween. And this issue is illustrated by Eduardo Rizzo. Awesome illustrator. He's done some really pivotal Batman stories. Batman Flashpoint. He's also done, like Hellblazer and 100 Bullets. Yeah, that's a good one. Well, he's great. Next issue is going to be Klaus Janson. Phases of the Moon Knight is a 5-issue miniseries. Jed MacKay, well, he is writing the regular Moon Knight series, and it looks like Declan Shalvey's on it. Is that Jorge Forne? Is that how you say his name? That's an apostrophe. Does that count as an apostrophe? Wolverine Revenge #2. I got naked versions and red band versions if you want to pay $1 for bloodier stuff. And if you do, then you'll be automatically entered into the raffle as long as you are in our customer database for the 1 in 25 variant of #2 I got. Written by Jonathan Hickman. You've heard that name before. And Greg Capullo on art. I'm sure you've heard that name before. Yeah, let me take a drink. God, DC has great looking books. Ram V is winding down his run on Detective, but I don't think it's over just yet. And Guillaume March is on art in this one. Whew, that's sweet. Detective Comics. It's a Batman book. You know how you can tell it's a Batman book? Anybody? Go ahead and take a look at the cover. This is funny. I'm not going to name any names. But somebody I know that works in a comic store was griping to me about a sale at a store. And the people at the counter didn't know what a Batman book was on Batman Day, because that's what they were having a sale on. And the thing is that they want to get rid of this stuff. And so, like, what is a Batman book? Well, a Batman book, for anybody that doesn't know, will probably have that bat somewhere on the book, like a Harley Quinn or a Poison Ivy or a Penguin or a Batman and Superman or a Batman miniseries or a Batman miniseries or a Batman miniseries. Robin, Nightwing. If for some reason they divorce themselves from the Batman, that symbol won't be on it anymore. But I don't think it will ever happen. But, it's hard to remember that people don't know all this stuff. That in a Batman book, that the bat is probably the reason why it's a Batman book. Daredevil, Woman Without Fear, #3. This is the miniseries going along with the Daredevil series that's going on. And look, that new Punisher is going to shoot our heroine, villain? I don't know what the hell she is. Helena Winhorn by Tom King and Bilquis Evely. This is issue #5, and it sells really well for me. So I hope it does well for other stores, and I hope it's a good read, but I haven't read any of it. I've been assured it's good, and I sell it so well, I don't care. But it's coming out tomorrow. Conan the Barbarian. Yeah, baby. I don't know what issue number this is. It's 13, I think, and they're doing the whole Frost Giant's daughter story. But like a different one, I guess. I haven't actually been reading all of the Conans, even though I'm like a super big fan, but I want to have something that I can go back to and know I'm going to like. And I know I'm going to like it because I like Jim Zub, and everybody is just crowing about this book. And I think it looks great, even when it's not the main series illustrator. They get really good people to work on it. And yeah, that, although I am reading the Savage Sword of Conan stuff, so I still have Conan in my life monthly, we'll say. Thundercats number 8. All right. Thundercats number 8. That's all I got to say about it. Lots of covers because, it's a Dynamite book. Red Band Werewolf by Night. This is not one of those comics where you can choose to have a less gory comic book. You have to buy it in a bag. And I've got them in a bag, but I don't order it near as much as I do Jonathan Hickman Wolverine comics. So you better let me know that you want this, or I probably already pulled it for you. Predator versus Black Panther number 2. I'm interested to see how this one does, because although Predator versus Wolverine was a real good seller on the first issue, there was quite a significant drop in the second issue. And I got to admit, I ordered like it was going to be that way. So you better let me know if you want this, or I probably already know. Namor number, oh my goodness, is this number 3, I think. I do want to change the banner so I can see. Yeah, number 3. This one's doing really well for me. Jason Aaron, Alex Linz, who's doing the Plastic Man book also, and I think Paul Davidson on art. So 2 guys on art. And the first issue, actually the first 2 issues I sold out of. I had to reorder number 1, and I actually didn't know that I sold out of both of them again. So I don't have any to fill in, but I do have the same numbers of number 3, so you know what to do. Deadpool Team Up number 2 by Rob Liefeld, and whoever he enlists to help him out in this book. My goodness gracious. Just let that sink in. Just look at it for a moment. I'm going to have a sip. That is Liefeldian, without a doubt. You got to love that there's a Crystar, though, in this book. NYX number 3. Once again, not a really big, heavily ordered number book. And I actually did sell out of number 2. So that was probably a little bit of a mistake on my part. I've been assured by some of my customers that this is a great book and very interesting. But I got to let you know, it's just too many X books for me. Lobo cancellation special number 1. Kyle Starks, I think, is the dude's name, and Dean Hotz. He's been around for a long time on art. And I'm down. There's a Simon Bisley cover. That's the one I chose. You got this one by Simon Hotz. It looks like Kelly Jones. It looks like, maybe like Val Merrick, who I think was on Lobo back in the 90s. It's just, it's going to be ridiculous and stupid. And I recommend it. I mean, if you like the main man like I do. Venom War has a Daredevil one-shot. I don't know if it's a miniseries or a one-shot. I can't care. But I know there's somebody that does. How it ties into the regular series or the Daredevil Woman Without Fear series, I doubt it does. So, maybe you haven't read Daredevil in a while and you like Venom. This is for you. All right, this is for everybody. Let's just admit it, all right? Turtles of Grayskull. Why, it's not just the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. they're on Eternia, and oh my gosh, ridiculous. Tim Seeley is writing it. I think Freddie Williams the third or second, Freddie Williams two, whatever he is. He's on art, so it's going to look really good. He does all that Turtles Batman crossover stuff, and yeah, I mean this is ridiculous. But I know there's people that are enjoying Turtles right now. I know there are some people that enjoy Masters of the Universe, and I was griping about all the different IPs that were, out in comic stores these days. And well, when there isn't just, these things coming out, we got to put them together also. So, of course it makes sense. Nightclub 2, number 2. It's a Mark Miller joint with Juanan Ramirez. It's like vampire kids that are superheroes, I think. Anansi Boys, number 4. It's a Neil Gaiman joint with David Mack covers. It's like, let's be real. That's the reason why you're getting this book. Oh yeah, and you like Anansi Boys. All right, here's something that's been going on in the store lately. My lunar orders have only been coming in. They've been coming in parts from 1 week to the next. And so that means like last week I got Violator number 1, and my invoice I was only invoiced for those books. So I wasn't really aware that I was going to be getting Violators in different covers the week after. And that's been happening a lot lately. Or some books, like from Image, have been coming the week after, even though they've been solicited, or, well, they aren't solicited. They're coming from Lunar a week later. So that's a thing that's been happening. And I've been a little, taken aback by it, because it's hard to know what's supposed to be happening in the store. You can't always just trust what someone says on the internet, right? So I'm going to be getting Violator back in stock the week after, because I sold out of the other stuff a little too early. And there's been a couple other books that are like that this week. Magic Order number 1, volume 5. Wow. This is one of my favorite Mark Miller books that he goes back to. And Matteo Buffagni is a really good illustrator. It's basically like this family of magicians and the people that are associated with them, and how they, they're kind of doing the Doctor Strange thing where they're like protecting us from all of that. Yeah, Magic Order. I think there was like a Netflix thing for that. Oh my goodness gracious. What did I talk about? Oh yeah, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers and Usagi Yojimbo. Well, thankfully, Usagi Yojimbo was just a comic book, or Japanese parables, I think. One or the other. But Mighty Morphin, well, I guess Mighty Morphin Power Rangers is Japanese parables also. IP. But not right now. Maybe after the show. The Manchurian number 1. It's an Image comic book, and you can tell because Pornsak Pishatstat is writing it. Or, wow, both Dodsons on a book? I can't believe this. And it looks like it's a 007 kind of a spy thriller thing. I think they've done this kind of thing before, but they're going back to it. And it's the Manchurian, so who doesn't want to read this? Spectrograph number, I don't know what number it is. It's on the spine. We'll talk about it tomorrow. I think it's 3. James Tynion and Christian Ward. All right. It's a distillery book. It's $8.99, and people that are digging these are really digging them, and they're usually at the front counter. Task Force 7, number 7. All right. I'm going to come back to that. Here's another book that I didn't get in last week, although I got the other cover. The Moon is Following Us. It's a Daniel Warren Johnson and co-illustrated book with Riley Rossmo. So I remember this story about Faith No More coming out to open for Metallica. And Faith No More came out and they were doing their songs that they do. And nobody was getting into it, like, at all. So one of the Metallica dudes, I don't know who, came out and was like, kind of giving these guys the rub, and the fans were kind of into it. And then when they left, the fans weren't into it. And that seems like a lot of Riley Rossmo people out there. That's what we're getting now. Daniel Warren Johnson is trying to prove he can give the rub to someone like never before. He's done with characters that nobody cared about, Wonder Woman, Beta Ray Bill, wrestling. Now, heavy metal music. Now he's going to do it for Riley Rossmo. Can he? I don't know, but at least he did one of the covers. And lastly, Absolute Power Task Force 7, number 7. We have one more task force, or Absolute Power number 4 to go. And then All In comes out. And I've had people already asking about Absolute Batman. And I don't know if they necessarily know about All In, but then I'm able to tell them about that. And I'm telling them about how this all-in initiative of DC's is going to have stories in the normal DC universe. And then they're going to have these alternate characters. And if you're to believe the words on the promos, then these are two unique stories that are going to become one. How is that going to happen? I don't know. And I don't really want to read too much into it. But this is kind of signifying, the beginning of it's the end of the beginning. Yes, that's what it is. And there's a lot more stuff, including trade paperbacks that are coming out. Ooh, baby. I can't even list it all. There's just so many. So let's go to comments. I see it backing up. All right. Hulk is picking up again since he left New Orleans. Yes. Also, there are people that don't really enjoy the Danny Earls artwork, although I do. And, what are you going to do? But Nick Klein, that guy's awesome. Spider Guy says Sheety is a dope artist. Yeah, he's pretty awesome. Did AL manage to get some of her books? Al Lane, very good. So, I have some of the books that she wants. I don't have the other books, but we're going to be working on those anyway. I have set them aside, and I'm just trying to do a little bit more due diligence, and then I'm going to get those out to her. So don't you worry about that. For anybody that doesn't know, in the YouTube listening community, like over on Erica Sullivan's channel, Thinking Critical, AL, they had a bit of a fire, and there were comic books involved in that fire. Oh, see, you could have just thrown them away. Anyway, we're going to try and get her some of them. If anybody has Void Rivals they want to get rid of, like issue 2, and I think 3 and 4. If it's a second or third print, fourth print, it doesn't matter. If it's been bent, it doesn't matter. Just wants to read them, and we'll worry about condition after. Only X books I'm reading are Ultimate X-Men and Phoenix, digging both. Excellent. Oh yeah, Phoenix is going to have... Who's involved in that? There's some villain, I can't remember. I decided not to read this book. Without Tim Sale, it just will not be the same. Yeah, I agree, but I mean, we're going to get people... All right, so you got to think about it this way. Wouldn't it be neat if Tim Sale could do a book? Well, now we're going to get people doing this book, hopefully, that this might be their last hurrah. I mean, I doubt Rizzo, but Klaus Janson, whoever they have else going on. This is the last issue, I believe, for Ram V's run. I believe Tom Taylor takes over in October. Yeah, I think that's true. Hell nah. To work at a shop, you have to know all the major characters, period. Then getting hazed by nerds is your rite of passage. Ooh, I know. Oh, no, don't do that. Okay, Helena Winhorn is dope. Excellent. All right, you guys talking about that. The Turtles of Grayskull cover alone is a must-have. Well, I know you're getting it. Oh yeah, Moon Man. That was another one. Moon Man. I'm gonna be late on Saga, which is actually supposed to come out this week. So, kind of biffed it on that one. Sorry. Yeah. Old Dog Operation. No. I think Frankenstein #2. We had some last week. We're gonna have some this week. So that's kind of how it is right now. I got some Void Rivals can bring tomorrow. Well, Ollie, that would be awesome. If you want, I'll just text you which ones I need. Saga, now that's a cover. I know. I wish I would have had that in the store so I could be talking about that one. Yeah, I don't know how I missed that one. I'm just, like I said, I just botched that one. It can happen. It can happen. All right. Yeah, like I said, this is gonna be a pretty quick show. I don't have a whole lot more to talk about other than just the comics that came out. That's pretty much what I did. I'm gonna, let me do this. Let me. So we're not leaving yet, so don't go anywhere. All right. Hopefully we didn't get in trouble for that one. Thanks to all our patrons. We have a Patreon. It's Fantastic Comics. In fact, all our social medias is Fantastic Comics, but really only the Instagram is one that I go back to the most, other than Substack. Substack. That one's free. We tell things about the store that's going on. I really want to unload a lot of stuff, and I have a few ideas on how to do that. Cheap for you. Moving a ton of stuff for me. So, you want to definitely know about that. And then, of course, we have, fun little witty, pithy statements that we put in our articles. So give Eugene a thumbs up for that. And if you haven't given a thumbs up for the show, maybe think about doing that. Tell a friend, all that other stuff, blah, blah, blah. But yeah, most importantly, thank you to the patrons. You guys are awesome. Oh yeah. So this is a great question. Let me actually get Lane first. Is Saga still rolling along? I heard it's kind of fallen off the last year or so. So in my first interview with Joe Casey, I asked him why it was so long in between issues of Godland towards the end. And, there's no growing that audience after a certain time. You can only hope to keep, even how much from the very beginning all the time. And Saga's numbers were staggering. People get older. It's been going on since pretty much Fantastic Comics has been a store. We've been around since 2011. I think it was a 2012 book. So, he plans for this whole thing to go on. There are some sales for the comic books, but yes, it's definitely fallen off as far as that's concerned. And the story, some people might think it's only now kind of sort of picking up after the long hiatus. It just builds on itself over and over and over and over again, and just continues to heap and heap and heap and heap. And we're just moving on towards this narrator that's already lived this life up until the point we're going to meet them. I assume. What's going to happen? When is that going to happen in this story? Is that going to be at the very end? Or is that going to be somewhere towards the halfway point of the second half, and then we're going to go on from there? I'm not sure. I don't think it's really been discussed. But, we know that the main character is talking to us. And the characters it's kind of like a character piece, a character study, and it is rolling along, is what it is. You can't expect to keep that main audience forever, but in trade paperback and compendium form, in those hardcover editions, this is going to be one that someone's going to come back to. Oh, I remember when I read that. Always, I want to see how it ends. And I'll be at the store and I'll say, well, I have these big fat bricks. And if you know you're going to do the entirety of them, you're going to save money with these. But if you want something nicer for the shelf, Elithalore. Did you hear about the Vince McMahon story on Netflix? I heard that Vince McMahon said it's all lies. Oh my goodness. So that means somewhere in between, right? He apparently tried to buy the rights to it away from them, but Netflix turned him down. Wow. I don't think it's really, I don't know, maybe it is good, because since WWE is moving over to Netflix, or I should say Raw is, and it's TKO, and ever since they got involved with McMahon, those allegations have just ramped up even more. And getting separated from him. But even still, I don't know if Vince McMahon is so ingrained in wrestling, and unless they're going to do a full removal, which is classic WWE, then I don't know how you're going to do that, is what I'm saying. But I heard that in Paramount is going to, I didn't hear. I read a headline that would suggest that WWE on Paramount, or Peacock, some of that is going to go away. And I'm like, whoa, my goodness. Now that we're talking about it right now, is any of that going to be the Vince McMahon stuff? Are we not going to have Trish Stratus barking like a dog for him? Oh, no. Chillmonger. Netflix are going to use clips of his character to paint a picture. It won't be that's a blind person can paint that picture. Pour one out for Vince McMahon. He's screwed. Oh, man. And he probably deserves it. No, you know what? I'm sure he deserves it. And man, I would love to see a buddy prison person movie with Donald and Vince McMahon. That would be a good comic book, at least. Eugene did a comic book about Vince McMahon and Peter Thiel. And it's just so funny how all these people are so ingrained with each other. And it's crazy. I guess that's it. Thank you to all our patrons. Thank you to everybody that's watching us. I'm going to play that one video, and I doubt I'll be kicked off, but it's the end of the show, and it's have an early night of it. Eat some ice cream. See you next week.
Lucy and Ramona cruising through the jungles of L.A. Hoping to promote a dream somewhere along the way. They're rolling Running through the streets, looking for a disco, passing up the treats from a kid named Cisco, trying to make connections with their blemish-free complexions, and just as fate would have it, ended up with Sunset Sam. Sam was selling watches from a suitcase on a TV tray. And Lucy and Ramona kept trying to figure out if he was gay. The three of them were standing, staring at each other, when the light behind their eyes blew each other's cover. The ancient code was branded, and each of them was handed a ticket to their kingdom, 'cause they saw their brother Sunset Sam. Sunset Sam. Lucy was from Compton, and she met Ramona at the zoo. Ramona was from Brooklyn, but she left when she was 22. Sam was a native of the Arizona desert, but he split when he was slated for some governmental make-work. Their differences subsided when the common bond was sighted. They were all from the same place that made the famous Sunset Sam. Lucy and Ramona and Sunset Sam. People on the streets trying to find a plan. People on the streets looking for a land. Lucy and Ramona and their brother Sunset Sam. Yes, sir.